What's going on, everybody? And I hope you're enjoying your Saturday morning so far. This is NYG Jeffy T85 here, and I'm going to talk about yesterday's New York Mets game as they came back home to CitiField to take on the Colorado Rockies in a 3-game series. And it started with Kodai Senga on the mound. And we all know what the Mets were doing the previous series. They had themselves a miserable time out there in Detroit, Michigan. The team couldn't hit. The team couldn't pitch. The team couldn't field. There was nothing that New York Mets team could do that was anything positive. Anything you could think about that Mets team was negative as can be. And they were struggling for a while. They lost 3 in a row, that 3-game series, and they were at 500 as a team. Finally come home yesterday, and they go up against Sanzatella and the struggling Colorado Rockies, who are 12-20 on the season. And the Mets need to get themselves a type of game where they needed to have some type of major impact by a starting pitcher in this game yesterday. They needed to get themselves a major impact overall from the New York Mets pitching staff. And it all started with Kodai Senga. And you know what? Kodai Senga went out there and he delivered. An absolute great performance for the New York Mets when they needed Senga to step up his game, to go out there and shut down that Colorado Rockies lineup. That's exactly what he did. Now, was he absolutely stellar? No. I mean, he gave up 4 walks in the game, but he did strike out 4 and only surrendered 2 hits overall. So, right now, Senga, he pitched 6 innings of only 2 hit ball, walked 4, struck out 4 in 6 innings, and then the bullpen pretty much went out there and they got the job done as well. Drew Smith pitched in the 7th inning and did a good job, only giving up 1 hit and struck out 2. David Robertson, who was the setup man for this game, he did walk 2 batters, but he only gave up a hit in 1 inning. And then Adam Ottavino closed it out with 1 inning, gave up 1 hit, and struck out 1. And the New York Mets end up winning this game yesterday by the final score of 1-0. And a lot of it had to do with the terrific play, once again, of the New York Mets leadoff man, Brandon Nimmo, who went out there and he had 2 hits in 3 at-bats, including a double in the bottom in the 2nd inning, and he had the only hit of the game, which was a solo home run over in right center field off of Sanzatella, the starting pitcher of the Colorado Rockies. Only accounted for the only run of this entire game. And then the Mets they only mustered 5 hits. Nimmo had 2 of them, but the Mets pitching was the story of this game. And man, did they need a pitching performance like they got last night from Kodai Senga. Scherzer does not look like the same pitcher he was. Verlander had his first pitch game, gave up back-to-back home runs, but for the most part did a solid job. But the Mets needed to get themselves a good pitching performance overall from these guys, and that's exactly what they got. They got a terrific pitching performance overall from Kodai Senga, and he did the job. I mean, the Mets have they've been struggling so mightily to get any type of impressive pitching performance at all from this team. And Senga took the ball at CitiField, and he pitched himself, I wouldn't say a gem, but he pitched himself a very good baseball game. And now the Mets are 17-16, back over 500, and Tylor Megill is going to be taking the mound today against the Rockies, looking to see if they can make it 2 in a row. And my Lord, do they need another victory here. Mets need to start stringing together some victories now in this schedule. I mean, the one thing that a lot of Mets fans have been complaining about has been that starting rotation. And the fact that they've struggled so mightily to get any type of consistent starting pitching out of this lineup. I mean, whoever it is. Tylor Megill, Jose Budo, any of these guys. David Peterson, Carlos Carrasco, Scherzer. Mets needed to get themselves some type of good pitching, and Senga answered the bell. That forkball was dancing all over that Colorado Rockies lineup. And while the Mets bats are still as quiet can be, Alonso has been struggling lately at the plate. McNeil didn't have a hit. I mean, Nito struck out twice. The only guys that had hits yesterday were Lindor, who's at batting .213. Lindor is struggling mightily right now too. Beatty, who continues to impress as a rookie this so far since coming up from the minor leagues. And then Nimmo, who is batting over 300. Besides Brett Beatty, the only other New York Met that's batting over 300 so far this season has been Brandon Nimmo at the top of the lineup. Starling Marte is struggling, is really having a tough time right now this season. Starling Marte looks nothing like the player that we saw from the New York Mets a while ago. He's now 0 for 4, and he's batting .219 on the season. The Mets badly need to get Starling Marte going. But once again, the heroes of the game yesterday was Kodai Senga and Brandon Nimmo. They were the heroes of this game yesterday, and they helped snap this 3-game losing streak. And now the Mets are back at over 500, 17-16, and they look to see if they can go win their second in a row over the Colorado Rockies with Tylor Megill on the mound. And they could use another impressive pitching performance, especially from Megill, who for the most part has struggled so far this season to get any type of consistency with the New York Mets so far. So that's your game recap. Hit that like button if you haven't already, and give a sub to NYGJeffyT85. More news, updates, and chatter surrounding the New York Mets. Turn on the bell for notifications of the next video we're short dropping on the channel surrounding the New York Mets. And you guys let me know in the comment section what you thought about yesterday's New York Mets victory over the Colorado Rockies, 1-0, and your state of the Mets as they get ready for the second of their 3-game series against the Rockies with Tylor Megill on the mound today for the Amazons at CitiField in Queens, New York. Thank you very much, everybody. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Take it easy, and let's go New York Mets as always. All you got to do is you got to believe in those boys from Queens.